Hey, Shalom. Okay, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, Barakah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Barakah Rakakadash. Okay, double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our elders of GMS. Okay, so salutation and peace and much blessings to your whole elect of the children of Israel. Whether you're scattered abroad amongst the four corners of the earth amongst the other nations, or here in the mainland of Babylon. Okay, you women as well, you Aqua that's looking to escape the pollutions of this evil ass wicked world. Okay, I'm gonna begin by saying that we're here to give you the answers of why, you know, and why, and we're here to give you the solution. All right. Which the problem is, the reason why is because we transgressed against the Heavenly Father, which I'm about to go into and read, you know, and being cursed by the Heavenly Father, we have to deal with all these calamities that are taking place. Babylon is being overwhelmed by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai by visiting with all different types of forms of calamities and destructions, and you're seeing it on every day on the news. You're seeing on social media death and destruction. You're seeing the loss of young lives, male and females. Okay, you even seeing the heathens begin to be cursed as well. The heathens who, for all this time, been getting blessings, but the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is starting to beginning to take away these devils, the ungodly, the children of men, beginning to take away all their blessings. Okay, so again, Isaiah 9, very good scripture, very good chapter to go into. Okay, I'm about to get disturbed here. Every time I push play, here comes a disturbance. Let me pause this for a moment. Okay, I'm back. I totally relocate to a different area. Okay. Again, like I mentioned before, reasons why. All right, and the reasons why have all different types of repercussions from it, And again, that's what we're witnessing now. Our people are destroyed, man. Our people are still caught up into all kind of foul, meaningless behavior. With literally no morals. With no desire or wisdom to come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, coming back to the true living power. And it's getting worse and it's getting worse. And this is Isaiah 9, where you can pretty much start anywhere. You can pretty much start anywhere. Isaiah 9:2. The people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death. And that's America, the land of the shadow of death. Okay, upon them have the light shine. Thou hast multiplied the nations and not increased the joy. That's the nations. Is another word for nations. He referred to the people as waters as well. Thy joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every battle of the warrior is for a confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And that's going to be the end game when this place is ultimately destroyed by thermonuclear missiles and by Yahweh Shai, which is going to destroy this place with our hands. Like it's described in Second Ezra, I'm pretty sure it's the 9th chapters, when he destroyed the armies that were in the midst of fighting World War III. He didn't need to lift a hand to destroy these places, to destroy these armies. That's a God. That's true power. All right, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. That's Yahweh Shai, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with joy and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Okay, and I'm getting to the point, because that's just giving you a vision of what's to come. That's a vision the increase of his government. That's an end. That's a future. That's a vision after the actual destruction. Um, after the battle, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, and this shall be burning and fuel of fire. This comes after that burning of fuel of fire. The Most High's anger with Israel. Okay, the Lord sent a word into Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel. And all the people shall know, even Ephraim, which is referring to the northern kingdom, and of the inhabitants of Samaria, that say in the pride of the stoutness of heart, the bricks are falling down, but we will build with huge stones. The sycamores are cut down, but we will change them into cedars. Therefore the Lord shall set up the adversaries of Rezin against him, and join his enemies together. And I'm going to get to the point. I'm just reading along. The Syrians before, the Philistines behind, and they shall devour Israel with open mouth. For all this his anger is turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For the people turn not unto him that smiteth them, neither do they seek the Lord of hosts. Okay? And this is his people who he's referring to. Just the 12 tribes, man. And it's not even giving no reference to the other nations. It's just an Israelite thing. It's all that is, man. And all this destruction and all these plagues and all this confusion and all this murder and death is all for the sake of Israel, the nation of Israel. Everything that's playing out is either for the benefit of the elect of Israel or the destruction of the 2/3 of Israel. Everything that's going on. And I might have to add that it's the destruction of the elect of Israel's enemies, the enemies of Yahushua, okay? Therefore, the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day. And that's the leadership, okay? Because they choose not to turn into the Lord. They want to continue on their filthy ass ways. The ancient and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. All right. And even those that claim to have the truth that are actually coming up under the banner of Hebrew Israelite or Black Hebrew Israelite, they're choosing to seek their own heart, to go after their own heart, their own covetousness. They have their own agendas. And that agenda has everything to do in its root into being of this world. And the scriptures clearly say, being a friend of this world, you're an enemy. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's friendship of this world. Let me do it this way. Here we go. It's James 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity of the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And you have those that claim to be in the truth, but it's a worldly doctrine that they're pushing. Once you claim to have the truth, but you mix in a little bit, like the scriptures refer to, that leaven, just a slight little bit of it, it alters the whole doctrine. It voids out everything that you're teaching, man. Everything that you're teaching. All right. Do you think that the scriptures said in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusted for envy? But he giveth more grace, wherefore he said, Most High resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourself therefore to the Most High, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And the devil is always going to come with his forms of trickery and slickness. Like the Ecclesiastes says, a gift destroyeth the heart. You know, these scriptures don't go wrong, man, and it's clearly, and its instructions is plain and clear. You know, draw nigh to the Most High, and He will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, you ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. And that's the spirit we're to be in going into Ecclesiastes. And this whole topic was to go into a lot of these things that are happening in the world, but this is just how the spirit is working. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Okay, here we go. Yeah. This is just plain and clear, man. It's obvious what it means. And there's no getting away around it either as well. There's no getting around this. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. But you have Jake getting ready for the summer months, man. You know, getting ready for those adulterers and adulteress events. You know, hey, James, start 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of this world, of the world, is enemy with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of the Most High. And the world pushes all forms of abominable behavior. The world encourages you to conduct all moralless behavior. That's the world. It encourages it. And now it's to the point that they're attacking the kids with their abominable agenda. Attacking the kids now, man. So be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy and your joy to heaviness. And this is where we're to be. You know, piss the hell off. Okay? Piss the hell off. Ecclesiastes 7:1. Here we go. 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. All right? What version are you reading? What Bible are you reading? Well, which one would you want me to get? Would you like me to get? Is NLT better to spend your time at funerals than at parties? No, not at funerals. You know, there's a law behind that madness. It's funerals as well. Here they got dead bodies laid up above the ground for days, sometimes weeks, because family members are fighting over possessions and so on and so on. Israel's gone, man. You know, better to spend your time at funerals than at parties. After all, everyone dies. So the living should take this to heart. Get back out of there. It says here, sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. Because what's coming, man, is total destruction. That's what's coming upon Babylon and the four corners of the earth. You know, death and destruction. Death and destruction. Okay? The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. And again, you see Israelites getting ready for the summer months like this is the time to party. Not knowing what's going on is a nightmare is brewing up. You know? There's a nightmare literally being stirred and brewed and, you know, and on the pot, you know, that's simmering. A nightmare simmering in that pot, and ultimately it's going to be time to eat, man. And this devil's going to release his wrath. Yahweh Shem Yahshua is he's going to allow this devil to release his wrath on that nation who he desires to destroy anyway. You know, here's the party. There's a party they're planning in Florida with for fat women, and you know it's going to have nothing but. You know, Israelite men is going to flock to it because it's an easy prey. You know? You know, may Yahweh Shem Yahweh infect them with incurable diseases. Adulterers and adulteresses. And what did he say in Deuteronomy? I'm not sure if it's 22 and 22, that put them both to death, the adulterers and adulterers. Let me see if I can find it. Is it Deuteronomy 22 and 22? Let me see if I can grab that real quick. I'm looking here on my Bible. That's what's going on in this world. We're headed to this. We're headed to this major moment, man. Deuteronomy 22 and 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shalt thou put evil away evil from Israel, or from amongst our nation, man. You know, our culture is a culture of death and destruction. You know, the culture of the Israelites now, right now, as we speak, is a culture of death and destruction, man. You know? So right now, everyone is getting ready in that spirit of adultery and adultery. The Israelite woman is sitting back as I speak, thinking about ways to end her long-term marriage that she's been in with a man, with an Israelite man. Right now, she's plotting on, if not ending the marriage period so she can have her freedom, she's looking to get, you know, to have her cake and eat it too. You know, that's what's going on as we speak. You know, as we speak, she's thinking of reasons. She's manufacturing reasons right now to text her husband or her man, or wait till him to come home so she can those famous words, "We need to talk." Yeah, okay. You know, and that's the same spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He said, "Go to the people, go to my people." That's the real. We need to talk. And the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, go to my people and give them warning from me. That's the real we need to talk. You know, that's the real one. So the heart of the wise, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness and countenance of the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He changed the weather, and you know, he made it beautiful. And now it's party time. So he's gonna catch these fools unaware. You know, he's going to destroy them while they're living comfortable in their sins. That's literally about what's about to go down. He's about to destroy them while they're living in their sins. You know, the house of mirth, party, and everything is always a party. Party this, party that. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. You know, and that's the one thing that Jake ain't trying to hear is the rebuke. You know, that pride, man, that you can't tell me what to do. You know, who are you to tell me? You know, that's their logic. That's their, you know, their wisdom. You know, that's their knowledge. Yeah, who are you to tell me to correct myself? Tell me I'm wrong. I'm a man. I'm a grown woman. I'm a man. I'm my own man. I'm my own woman. You know? For as a crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of thereof, and his patience in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. We're patiently waiting for the downfall of this place. We're patiently waiting, man. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause of that? The former days were better than these. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not acquire wisely concerning this. Nobody want to go back to this, the 80s and the 90s. Who wants to go back to that bullshit, that madness, man? Who wants to go back to the 60s and 70s, 80s and 90s, where it's, you know, where it appeared that black folks is making progress when we never were. You know, that never changed the fact that we were put here to serve a punishment. and not to prosper and to live good. Now that we have the truth, we know these things. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So we have to work. That don't mean work as hard as you can to become rich, because Scripture says labor not to be rich. So it's good that He provides us with a job that we're able to make enough to give us our daily bread. And that's it. Being content. Being content is actually godly. It's godliness. Being content is godliness. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to have a better car that's more reliable, but you don't continue to work. I gotta have that instead of this Ford Explorer. I gotta have the Cadillac truck instead. And ain't nothing wrong if you have a Cadillac truck, but as long as you're serving the Lord, man, and actually being grateful for what He allows you to have, man. But again, being content, period. Just being content, man. Okay, so where was I? So let me go back to that James 4. All right. Be afflicted. And to understand what this means, being afflicted, that don't mean you go cutting yourselves and hitting yourself over the head with a baseball bat. To toil heavily. Okay. To endure labors and hardship. To be afflicted. To feel afflicted and miserable. Remember, wisdom maketh a wise man mad. That we have to endure and deal with these things that are going on around us. We can't take judgment in our own hands and start putting people to death. That's being over righteous. We can't start executing judgment, because actually judgment is of Yahweh Shai's, man. Because the Scripture says, wait until Yahweh Shai rise up unto the prey. So we have to endure this man, and continue to learn about it, and to teach those like-minded, that are actually looking for the light and wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Being afflicted, and mourn, and mourning, and mourn, to lament, to grieve, wail. And you actually go into crying, the word crying unto the Lord. Here, let me see if I can do that. Cry unto the Lord. Let me see if I can cry out. Ooh, the cry out came up. Let me get to some of the prophetic scriptures. Hear, O Lord, Yahweh, when I cry with my voice, have mercy also upon me and answer me. Let me see what's here. Cry. To call out, recite, read, cry out, proclaim. To call out, cry for help. Call. The name of God, to proclaim, to read aloud, read to oneself, read to summon, invite, call for, call and commission, appoint, call and endow, to be called, be proclaimed, to be read aloud, be summoned, be named. Okay, then a strong definition, kara, from the root, through the idea of costing a person met to call out to, properly addressed by name, but used in a wide variety of applications, berate self, that is bidden, call, for call upon, cry unto, be famous, guest, invite, mention. That's the root of the word call. to encounter, befall, meet, encounter, to meet the unexpected, to cause to meet. A primitive root to encounter, whether accidentally or in a hostile manner. Befall, chance, cause to call upon, fall out, happen, to meet. Okay. Okay, let me dig some more here. Let me dig some more. Let me do some more digging. Does not wisdom cry and put forth her wisdom, and understanding put forth her wisdom? Cry. Kara again. To be called, be named, be called out, be chosen. To be chosen. Hold on, let me dig some more. For before the child shall have knowledge to cry out and shout, thou inhabitants of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. Cry out. So I knew I was going to find it somewhere. Eventually, that's why I kept digging. And I'm going to go to the Greek as well. To cry, to neigh, cry shrilling, to neigh of men, a stallion, figuratively, to cry shrilling in distress. Okay. A primitive root to glean, be cheerful by transference to sound clear, bellow, cry aloud, lift up, neigh, rejoice, make to shine and shout. So let's go back to where I was. I should have kept it there. Yeah, that's all right. No, I was in where? James, right. Okay, being afflicted and mourn and weep. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. And let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgest the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judges another? Okay, so let me do this as well. Foolish state of mind, man. It's still mind-boggling to this day where Jake is mentally. And I thought I have. Let me see this. Oh yeah, it's a photo I took a snapshot of. Let me see if I can find it. I took a snapshot of it. Here we go. And this is a picture of one of those events that's coming up where, oh Lord, man, that's just foul. I can't even look at it no longer. That event that's coming up where Jake is getting ready to party. You know, getting ready to party. Ugh, Lord. Isaiah 3. That's straight up Isaiah 3. Okay, so Um, so we're all really pretty familiar with being afflicted in here. There's other scriptures as well, afflicted, and the word is escaping me right now. It's escaping me right now. It's like it. Another word, another word that, oh, did I spell it wrong? Ooh, Zephaniah 3 and 12. A remnant of Israel. That remnant, that's that elect. You know, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. All right. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away thy judgments. He hath cast out thine enemies, the King of Israel, even the Lord is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil anymore. And that means the nightmare is coming to a close, the final curtain call. The final curtain call. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. Now, if you're not following instruction, if you're not hearkening to the word, man, when all hell breaks loose, you're going to be totally lost and confused, and he's going to leave you out there, as a prey. He's going to literally leave you. He's going to turn your back on you. And this is what's going to happen with the 2/3 when all hell starts breaking loose, because they're looking for this moment of pleasure and this moment of success, and not thinking about the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Okay, in that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, the elect, the remnant, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thy hands be slack. Learning you're an Israelite he requires much more than that. Unfortunately, he requires much more than that. The Lord thy power in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful. That's back to that Ecclesiastes, and that back to that James as well, 2 and 4, that James 4. I will gather them that are sorrowful. There's nothing to be happy about but having this truth and the hope and the faith that we're going to get delivered. The hopeful elect. We always say the hopeful elect. Faith-based Israelite, the hopeful elect. Because we're in captivity, serving hard bondage. Who in their right mind wouldn't be tired of fucking waking up by the sound of a goddamn alarm clock? Happen to go clock in, happen to go labor at using hammers and shovels. Backs hurt, feet hurt, hands hurt, head hurts. That's captivity. And then on top of that, when you get paid, you're not getting your actual day's wages. You're being taxed you've been taxed to hell. You've been taxed to hell. That's a sorrowful mind. That's to afflict, grieve, suffer, cause grief. Suffering. So we call upon Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for continuously calling on him. And what was the meaning of one of the words being called? Chosen. 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 So I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And what other nations on this planet that are being put to shame? Man, it's the Israelites. There is no other nation. People of Negro and Indian Latino descent, Native Americans. At that time will I bring you again, even in this time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, said the Lord. Lamentation 4. Lamentation 4. This is one of my all-time favorites as well. Okay, rejoice, 4:21. Lamentation 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. And that's that cup. That cup represents slavery. Slavery. Okay. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. Okay. And right now she's been made drunk and naked, being exposed. Her skirt's been pulled. You know, her skirt's been pulled. For an unused root meaning to hold together a cup, often figuratively a lot as a potion. Also, some unclean bird, probably an owl, perhaps from the cup like cavity. This don't really give you nothing about that cup. It's a spiritual thing to understand what that cup is. Okay. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished. And there we go. Where was I at? Slock have to find that word. Was it Zephaniah? Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. There we go. Undo all that afflict thee. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, the Israelites, northern kingdom, southern kingdom, the 12 tribes of Israel. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And this is where we're headed. Okay? Beautiful scriptures, man. I'll get one more of those afflicted, though, if I can find one. It's like I'm all over. Here we go. Here we go. It's Lamentation 1. Her skirts. Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembers not her last end. You never thought judgment would come. Never thought that she would have to pay for her wrongdoings. Therefore she hath come down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Yahweh, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnified himself. The adversary has spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she has seen that the heathen enter into her sanctuary, who thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation. All her people sighing, they seek bread. They have given their pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Yahweh, and consider, for I am become vile. Is it nothing to you, all ye that pass by? Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Lord had afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger. And that's all coming to an end. You know, those that are sighing and crying now. You know, those that are signing and crying now. For above hath he sent fire to my bones, and it prevailed against them. And he hath spread a net for my feet. He hath turned me back. He hath made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressions is bound by his hand. They are wreathed and come up upon my neck. He hath made my strength to fail. The Lord hath delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not able to rise up. Okay? The Lord hath trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He had called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord hath trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in the winepress. For these things I weep. You see, it's not these events with Jake scheduling and partying and looking for these what do you call them, these parties where people are going to like every year, college students go to Myrtle Beach, or instead of looking for the next abominable event to go on, and you partakers in that wickedness, you turn from it, and you actually should look at it in total disgust. These festivals that are coming down and starting to take place now that the weather is starting to change. That's something you're supposed to weep for, because what goes on amongst our people in those festivals is nothing but filthiness and foul, moralist behavior. For these things I weep, mine eye runneth down with water, because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevail. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord had commanded concerning Jacob that her adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a minstrel's woman amongst them. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I was searching these social media sites. That's literally in my spirit and how I was looking at Jake. And how they're the videos are showing in Memphis, Chicago, somewhere down south, where the young men and women are on the streets at night on top of cars and partying and just robbing stores and kicking in windows and going and robbing stores and so on and so on, man. The people are gone, man. But got the nerves to cry, Black Lives Matter. But you don't see Jake crying out for this foul behavior of their people. You don't see none of that. But all the Jake see is these devils reacting from these dumbass black devils, foul behavior. you know. I actually rejoice when you see these red devils blow away these black devils. So what I was thinking in my mind, man, our people, and actually I always leave comments that are how our people are destroyed, and how how the black culture is foul and evil and just straight up ugly, man. That's all it is. It's abominable. Black culture I'm referring to. Black culture is abominable. So the remnant of our people are coming back to our actual natural culture, nationality and culture of Hebrew Israelites, following the laws and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, or at least rehearsing those laws and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But right now, black culture is as that minstrel's woman amongst them. That The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold, my soul, my virgins, and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders gave up the spirit in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their soul. Behold, O Yahweh, for I am in distress. We are in distress. As we speak, I'm in distress. The Akim are in distress. The elders, the apostles, we're all in distress. To bind, be narrow, be in distress, make narrow, cause distress, besiege, be straightened. And that straightened, be straightened. It's where it is difficult, in the path of difficulty. Our lives are difficult. Be bound. Be bound. We're not free. We're not some sovereign nation. We're bound, This devil has control that there's some of us that can't even get a passport to leave, even if we wanted to leave. We're stuck here, man. To bind, tie up, shut up, to be scant, be cramped, be in straits. Let me just do this here. Be in straits. Straits. Okay, a narrow passage of water connected to seas. What? Using reference to a situation characterized by a specified degree of trouble and difficulty. There you go. Let me read it again. Used in reference to a situation characterized by a specified degree of trouble and difficulty. This is us. This is our lives. This is the life we live every goddamn day that we're here. Living in a path of difficulty, to make narrow, because distress, press hard upon, to suffer distress, to show hostility toward, vex, to show hostility toward, treat with enmity, vexed. mm. Mm. Behold, O Yahweh, for I am in distress, my bowels are troubled. Mine heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth, at home there is as death. They have heard that I sign, there is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. And that's fast forward to 4. Lamentations 4. And they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me, for all my transgressions. For my signs are many, and my heart is faint. So I'm going to close it with that. So, oh, man, I hope you were encouraged and informed and edified. So to next line, Lord willing, shalom.